American Media Issue Survey conducted by the Public Opinion Research and Public Policy Consulting firm Eviteris, KBLA Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airwaves for Black Los Angeles and beyond. Check it out. We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean it. We mean it.
That's the bottom line.
We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not back in the closet, and definitely not back to the good old days.
Might as well forget it. No way.
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Sometimes I get sentimental, and I get up in my head. I get caught up in my feelings and regret the things I said. It's not secret to love. We used to have it, but I just didn't fight hard enough to hold on to you now. Yeah, still keep thinking about the way you kiss, and it's way too hard for me not to sit here and mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2 of the hottest relationship show in the nation. We on fire tonight. Got my sister in the building, Mayumi McKinley, LCSW.
Yes.
Yeah, we talking about a struggle ship. These topics are just pouring in to my email account because people want to have these expansive discussions. And just to help some people real quick, I need you to give them some tips. Problem-solving strategies for overcoming difficulties in relationships, conflict, struggles, sense of stuckness, all of that stuff. How does one deal with oneself when they're in a relationship that struggles?
So I'm going to give general things to be mindful of, because I think in relationships a lot of times people don't listen. Listen with the intent to understand the other person. There's usually listening to be understood or listening to be heard, or okay, you finished, so now, as I was saying,
right.
Like, I didn't interrupt you, now it's my turn,
Right.
But there's really not a desire to understand where the other person is coming from, like coming from a place of curiosity to really understand. We're usually listening in women, I think women and men, but I will say because we have great memories.
You sure?
So we can listen, and sometimes it's easy to get caught up in it. Ends up being like a jury. Like you get caught up in listening and proving what the person's saying is incorrect and what they said and what is inaccurate versus really coming from a place of understanding.
I do that a lot.
What? Come from a jury?
No, I'll be like, what'd you say? That don't make sense.
Oh God, that don't make sense.
I'm gonna be like, I need you to figure that out. You can't just be saying random things.
So you're not curious as to where the randomness came from?
I am curious, but I'm like, it gotta make sense now. Line it up.
Me and somebody was just having this conversation.
I'm serious.
But listening, really understanding that both parties have growth to do, not using a person's growth as a weapon. I think that that's a difficult thing when you all do have heart-to-hearts or vulnerable moments, and then when you're angry, this is why you're this way, you know, don't treat me like you're acting like your mom, or you're, you know, all of that, where now things that were discussed in vulnerability in places where people were really trying to help you to genuinely understand them, you're now weaponizing it. And then that shuts down vulnerability. So certain things shouldn't be brought up in anger. Even if you see the person, first of all, if somebody's angry, they're not listening to you anyway. So you giving insightful, logical information in that moment does not matter.
And they don't care. Right?
I don't care, yeah.
Wow.
But at least coming from a place of when things have calmed down, I hope in a healthy relationship you should be able to talk about, okay, you brought this up and you were upset. I'm wondering if you recognize that. But it's emotional maturity. That's difficult. We don't have emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. That's all very, very important.
Emotional maturity is too big of a word for most of us to even digest, right? I'm just being honest with it. Let me do it this way. Most of us are left brain communicators. We're interpreting. We're not listening. Our left brain is creating a map, and like you said, and this is you act like your mama, and you know. So this is why I think this brother right here is so profound to me. Krishnamurti, my favorite philosopher. I mention him on every show. By now, everybody should have been out and got it. Don't laugh at me, Andy. That's what I do, man. So Krishnamurti said it this way. He said, we interpret according to conditioning. Right? And he says, it is when we begin to interpret, to translate according to our conditioning and prejudice that we miss the truth. And I think for many people, that's what happens. We're on this left brain communication conveyor belt. I'm waiting my turn to get my turn to say what I really want to say. Damned about what you said.
There's no understanding. There's no true understanding. We're just communicating.
Right.
It's everybody just pleading their point.
Right.
But no desire to come to a understanding or respect. I mean, you're not going to understand it. I don't understand it, but I respect it. Right? Wow. And I think most people, and the agree to disagree is foreign to people. A lot of times disagreement means you don't respect me, you're not on my side, you know, instead of, you're belittling me, as opposed to everything, you can't come in agreement if we're real about it.
When we come forward, we're going to go back to the phone line. She is slapping y'all upside your dome piece on your way home from Jones Beach, and you can't do nothing about it. The Voice of Reason is on fire tonight. I'm loving this discussion, and now the callers will have their say.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
On Sunday, January 15th at 4 p.m., SCLC Southern California presents Moving into the Promise of the Beloved Community at the 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration. President William D. Smart invites you to attend the celebration on Dr. King's birthday, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX, 6101 West Century Boulevard. This year's event will honor community members who have made a significant impact in 2022, including our own Tavis Smiley, who will also deliver the keynote address. For tickets, call 213-268-3082 or email Pastor Smart at sclc-sc.org. That's 213-268-3082 or email Pastor Smart at sclc-sc.org. Don't miss SCLC Southern California's 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that when we fight, we win. Community Coalition trains activists and organizers in order to support power building with Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. Community Coalition works to help transform the social and economic conditions in South LA that foster addiction, crime, violence, and poverty by building a community institution that involves thousands in creating, influencing, and changing public policy. Founded by Karen Bass in 1990, Community Coalition was born as an African American and Latino organization with the goal of turning hopelessness and despair into action. The activism of the Community Coalition's members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery in South LA for decades, generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition, Community Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources, advocacy, and policy work, and has a robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support for your nonprofit, visit cocosouthla.org. That's cocosouthla.org, or call 323-750-9087. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more? It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
And for love's sake, each mistake, oh, you forgave. And soon both of us learn to trust, not run away. There was no time to play. We build it up, build it up, build it up, and now it's solid.
Hey!
Solid as a rock. That's what this love is.
Come on, 80s.
That's what we've got. Oh. Solid. Solid as a rock. And nothing's changed it. The thrill is still hot, 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 hot.
Oh, God. The 80s, man. Come on. Ain't nobody's relationship solid no more. Solid as a rock. Ashford and Simpson. No, there are a lot of solid relationships.
There are. Believe it or not.
But we do live in some strange times.
We do.
Where the struggles have multiplied in a myriad of ways. And tonight's topic is just on fire. We got callers galore. Let's get them in here now. Reggie, Austin, Texas. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I love the conversation. I listen to this show because I want to get better at relationships. And you mentioned a term about 5 minutes ago called emotional maturity. How can you gauge your emotional maturity? That's the first question. And how can you improve your emotional maturity?
I think gauging it has to do with reflecting on how you're responding to situations that are hurtful or triggering for you. You can also listen to what those around you say, those who are trustworthy. Trustworthy people, that's the key, people who are going to be honest with you. And when you ask how do you become better at it, I think it's a better understanding of self. The more you understand how things that happen to you or how you grew up, things you've encountered impact you, then there's a level of emotional maturity that happens just over time because you begin to understand yourself a little bit more and how things impact you. And how you respond to things is a huge factor in knowing if you're growing. You know, you hear people say, that would have cussed somebody out. This was a while ago. So how you respond to situations, there's a peace, a calm and acceptance, I feel, that comes with growth, where things that used to trigger and bother you don't do it in the same way anymore. It doesn't mean they don't hurt. I think some people think healing means you don't hurt anymore. It doesn't mean that you don't get touched. It just means that the emotion doesn't consume and control you.
Certain level of resolve. Resilience.
Cool.
Yeah, and she's on it.
And that's a loaded question, so I hope that's gives you kind of an overview. But it really is an understanding yourself and really having an understanding of how what you've been through, your view, and sometimes it's so interesting working with people. People don't realize how even seeing how their parents grew up, or just reflecting back, has impacted, and it doesn't have to always be in a negative way, but how it's impacted your perception of things. Or love. How was love shown in your family? Think about that. How was anger shown in your family? Think about that. Was there ever resolve? How were disagreements resolved, if at all? Did everybody just cuss everybody out and then the next day act like it's okay? Think about those things, because those things shapes our behavior and our responses to things.
Wow.
See, but for me, it was you learn what works, you learn what doesn't, and then it's like, all right, well, we just come together as an understanding and we break up. And I mean, this just shows about the struggle-ship. I think you need that struggle sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
But you don't need a never-ending struggle. And I want to determine, like, when it's time to stop struggling, or when it's time to just go harder.
So let me give just a little piece, because she hit you in the head, and it's one of those delayed punch reactions. You got to go back and really kind of dissect what she just said, and it's very profound. First off, we talked about interpreting your experience, right? Well, your experience is how you've been conditioned. She was talking about that just now. Like, how did your family solve problems, right? That's part of your conditioning. If we go back to the Krishnamurti quote, we interpret according to our condition. So you said, when is the struggle over?
You also said that there's a pattern of having a struggle, coming to an understanding, and breaking up.
And then breaking up.
So you would have to reflect on, is the struggle, what brought it together in the first place? Because sometimes, and I'm not saying this is you, but sometimes people connect on different levels, and sometimes even unhealthy connections look beautiful and seem great in the beginning. And when you reach a place of understanding, there's a disconnect, you might want to just reflect on what's bringing the connection in the first place. Are there similarities between the people that you are dating? Are the struggles similar?
Right.
Right.
And you
That makes sense.
And then you talked about emotional maturity, and Mayumi said, being observant of how you respond. I would say when you're emotionally immature, you don't respond, you react. And I think you have to make a distinction between, do I want to respond, which is from a higher consciousness, as opposed to reacting, which is probably from an emotionally immature space. So you would have to be able to observe that in self. Now, part of self-observation that is a struggle, and Mayumi could probably expound on this at length, is you have to be able to observe yourself without judgment. Now, can you talk to this brother Reggie about that process? Because I know it's difficult to do that.
Yeah, especially because people think I shouldn't feel this way, or I shouldn't do this. People judge themselves for feelings, and feelings aren't right or wrong, they just are. So you're entitled to have whatever feeling you want to have. Now, our responses is what gets us in trouble. Our responses to the emotion. So really just looking and reflecting and not judging yourself, and there's an acceptance of, this is how I grew up, this is what's healthy, and this is what's helpful for me, and this is what's not helpful for me. And in terms of the last thing you stated, do I leave or do I just continue? If you have two people where both parties are equally as devoted to the relationship, and both parties are wanting to change and actively making an effort to change, then usually there's success in a relationship. But both parties have to be willing to be vulnerable, but just be humble. Humbling yourself in a relationship is very, that's difficult.
Because most people see humbling themselves as humiliating themselves.
Are we?
And there's a difference between humbling and humiliation.
I agree.
What is the difference for people who are listening and want to know?
My thought on that is, it's truth. I remember having this conversation. I'm humble in a situation when and it took a while to get to this place, right? Just because you're a therapist don't mean that sometimes I'll be like, forget these tools. Okay. Let's have
Exactly.
We all human. But at the same time, humbling for me came in my growth journey when I recognized that my truth is my truth, and me telling someone, taking accountability or apologizing has less to do with them and more to do with me. So it's me, it's me saying this is, because usually it's a behavior that you're trying to change or you want to get better at in the first place. So if I say I apologize and I'm, taking accountability for my behavior. What that person decides to do with that, if they want to throw it in my, that's on them. But I'm focused on my growth journey, and how that person responds to me being humble really dictates how close I want to have them in my life. But because it becomes a weapon for them to throw at me. Well, see, I knew you, later on, then it creates a space where maybe I don't need to be there.
That sounds like conditional forgiveness, where people forgive for the moment and then hold it over your head later on.
That's not forgiveness.
Talk to us then.
I think we have. Oh God, I have a whole conversation with one of my clients. We've been on this for like a week, actually a couple of weeks, because I think, and I love to hear what you guys think. Forgiveness, we're not really taught what the real meaning of it, because it's a choice that you make. People feel forgiveness means I'm condoning your behavior. It means I have to trust you. It means I have to have you in my life. It means I'm saying what you're doing is okay. It means I'm weak. And it also means that if I forgive you, you're going to do it again. So I have to hold this hostage because it's really giving you permission to do it again. And that's not what forgiveness is at all. It's an act of choice, so I don't have to carry the burden. I don't have to automatically give you my trust. You may not even be in my life. Forgiveness is for me not to carry the burden, the resentment, the frustration, the guilt, because all it's going to do is keep my emotional wound fresh, and it's going to color my perception of other relationships. And now what you did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and it's going to stop me from appreciating somebody who's right in front of me today.
Come on, Reggie.
So it's important for me to forgive you so that I can be happy.
Come on. Hey, Reggie, did you get more than you asked for?
Yeah.
There you go, man. Now,
a lot to chew on, for sure.
I'm going to say this right now. If you call in here and you still messed up.
It is a journey. Don't listen to Dawn now. It's a journey.
I'm just playing with you, Reggie. You know you got a seat at the table, man. Call in here anytime. Austin, Texas is in the building because of Reggie. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's get over to Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. Mimi, get in here.
Hey, so I'm calling your show.
What up, Mimi? Talk to us.
Well, my last relationship ended badly. We were engaged. Our families came together and all of that, and it just ended. And so after that, I decided I was just going to take some time for me and work on myself, and I'm still doing my work. But I do want love in my life, but I'm scared. I mean, I'm a woman and I can be vulnerable and emotional, but I'm scared. I don't know what my first step should be. Should I get on a dating app? Should I don't know, go to a club? I don't know. I don't know what my next step is.
Go to a club? What in the world?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think, first my heart goes out to you, because being engaged to someone and having plans to spend the rest of your life with someone and then it ending terribly could, definitely you have valid reason for being scared. And I don't know anyone who's been in any relationship that ended badly and they're not terrified.
Yeah.
When you have done your own work, when you make the decision to open yourself up to dating, it will definitely be one, to be clear on what it is that you are looking for, and also to be aware of the deal breakers for yourself. A lot of times once we put love goggles on, we start to
define love goggles real quick, because people don't understand that. Give us more of that.
When we put love goggles on, slowly you start to accept things that were absolute no for you. So I always encourage.
I did that.
Yeah,
I did that.
I always encourage people, when you're clear and you're not dating, write down what your deal breakers are, but not just write them down. Really write out and explain why they are your deal breakers, so that as you continue to transition through relationships and meet people, you're not going back on things or starting to accept things that were a part of your value system, your moral system. So they kind of keep you on track. The second thing is to recognize that anytime you are dating or you enter into a relationship with someone, there's the possibility of being hurt, which is why it's important to know yourself in the beginning. So when you are in a healthy place, you choose differently. It does not mean that person will never hurt you and things, but if you're choosing differently and you're paying attention to red flags and you're aware of how you're showing up, it usually reduces the chance of heartache to the heartache happening to the extreme way that it did in previous relationships, because you usually end up weeding people out, or they end up weeding themselves out in the situation, if you're honest.
Can you give her a breakdown of how to be aware of how you show up? Because how you show up oftentimes, in my opinion, is an invitation. So can you talk to them about that a little bit?
I pay attention to how you feel when you're talking to the person. Pay attention to what's coming up for you when you're on the date. Pay attention to the unspoken rules and expectations you make as you continue to get to know a person, and that will help you be more aware of how you're showing up. And it's really important that people show. We talked about wearing masks when you're dating. Everybody shows up the best version of themselves, and by all means, there are boundaries, and no one is just welcomed into your life, and you have to divulge everything. There are boundaries that can happen. However, if you show up not your authentic self, then the person is attracted to the unauthentic part of you. And what happens is people show up, hard. They show up hurt. They show up with a guard.
Yeah.
And then the person that they're attracting, people who are attracted to that aspect of you. And then when you decide, not saying you specifically, but when people decide to let their guard, okay, I like this person. They've passed all my little invisible test. Now I'm going to be the loving person that I truly am. Then you shift, you earned my love. Right. And then the person's like, I don't.
Bring back the mask.
I don't. So you end up attracting what you aren't. And so it really becomes you being comfortable with yourself and truthful with yourself, and knowing that if someone's not attracted or doesn't want you or doesn't call back, it's cool. Not taking it personal. It just means that they're not vibrating on that realm that you're on, and being open to allowing people in and the red flags. So it's no easy route, but the more honest and the more comfortable and the more you trust yourself, it becomes easier, and it's not about you. So it's less personalization. What's wrong with me when they didn't call? What's wrong with me? Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I have another question, because dating has changed so much. It's like people don't want to court anymore. It's like people just want to hook up, and I don't want to hook up. I want to court. So what?
Then the people who want to cook up, you're not talking to them. You're right, but I agree with you. It's a whole different culture. We're in this culture of immediate gratification where you can pretty much order anything up on your phone, literally, anything. So I think once you are as you're continuing your healing journey, I think you're going to naturally recognize that you attract different people. Now, as far as dating apps, and I've worked with people and it's a headache. It seems stressful. A lot of people get on there I had to delete the app because I'm so stressed out. It's a lot. Meeting people,
naked pictures, all kinds of stuff.
Mimi, let me say this. We got to move forward, but I appreciate your candor and your transparency in asking these questions, because I know it's not easy to do. We appreciate you for being up so late. Thank you for calling into the Voice of Reason. Jacksonville, Florida is here because of you. We appreciate it.
It's a process. That's what I'll leave her with. It's no one-word answer. It's
you talking to her just made me come up with a great idea. I'm going to do an app called Post Dates. Not like Postmates, but Post Dates, where you could just order somebody. No, I'm sorry.
I was all intrigued. I'm like, oh, what are you evaluating what the date was afterwards? Like, what are we doing?
No, like you can order food, you can order a date.
Post you do dates. That already on all the other apps.
This is wonderful.
I'm not going to mention any, but some of them are already like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join the conversation, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going to Indianapolis. And, of course, we're going to Watts. Yes, Watts. We're probably going to go to Watts first. She's been on the longest, and she's a sister. When we come forward, trust and believe. We've got a lot to talk about.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The CDC and the FDA are looking into concerns that the Pfizer COVID vaccine causes strokes in those 65 and older. The CDC notes that overall the data suggests it's very unlikely there's a true clinical risk. The agencies use a safety monitoring system that identified a preliminary signal that they found important to share with the public while they continue to evaluate data. The U.S. Treasury Secretary is putting Congress on notice that the nation will hit its debt limit next week. Janet Yellen notified lawmakers her department will begin taking necessary steps to avoid default once the debt limit is reached. In a letter to Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Yellen noted Treasury is not currently able to estimate how long those actions will let the U.S. continue to pay for government obligations. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
It's not too late to get a flu shot. Vons and Albertsons pharmacies make it easy. They're free with most insurance, and walk-ins are welcome. Or skip the line by making an appointment online. Restrictions apply. Visit the pharmacy for details.
Drop it! When you tune in to KBLA Talk 1580, we want you to know what you're downloading.
Now you listen to me, and you listen to me closely.
In a recent African-American media issue survey conducted by the Public Opinion Research and Public Policy Consulting firm Eviderus, KBLA Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airways for Black Los Angeles and beyond.
Check it out.
We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean it.
That's the bottom line.
We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not back in the closet, and definitely not back to the good old days.
Might as well forget it. No way.
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
It's a Martin Luther King Day Black Unity Gathering, Monday, January 16th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Giordano's Ethiopian Restaurant at 4020 West Martin Luther King Boulevard, right off Buckingham. Join me, attorney and chairman Malik Zulu Shabazz. I'm the student of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, the head of Black Lawyers for Justice and the chairman of the new Black Panther Party. Come on, Los Angeles. Homelessness, gang violence, economics, police brutality. We will all be dealing with it at Giordano's Ethiopian Restaurant, 4020 West Martin Luther King Boulevard in Los Angeles, 5 to 9 p.m. Celebrate Dr. King. Join us. Free food will be available. Black Power.
I have a dream.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-914-1592. 800-914-1592. That's 800-914-1592.
Hi, this is Tavis.
Tavis, this is Dr. K. We've got a lot to talk about. I'll be in town on the 28th of February. Can you clear your calendar?
Absolutely, Dr. King. Good Lord, do I have some questions for you, sir. Hi, it's Tavis.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. You see, now I already know the date. Now, I know y'all not trying to keep me out of that conversation, are you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What happened to George Floyd shouldn't happen, not even to a dog. How long must the Negro continue to endure this foolishness at the hands of law enforcement? People can take but so much before they reach a breaking point. What do you mean, Black Lives Matter? Black lives haven't mattered in this country since Negroes stopped working for free at the end of slavery. You ought to be talking about Black Guns Matter and start your own NRA. Call it the Negro Revolutionary Amalgamation.
Don't miss this compelling historic radio event, The Return. When Tavis Smiley converses with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to The Voice of Reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I was told the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you're tired, got to provide, always be
Man,
the
turn
rock
this
for my
off.
family.
Let me tell you something right now. Ain't nobody gonna teach you how to love. That what this boy? This is fairy tale music.
He was speaking his truth.
No, don't speak your. If your truth is a lie, don't speak. Go ahead, man. Play the rest of it.
Baby, our relationship is suffering, trying to give you what I never had. You say I don't know how to love you, babe. Well, I say show me the way. I keep my feelings deep inside, I shadow them with my pride. I'm trying desperately, baby, just one help me.
This is the voice of reason.
Way to surrender my heart.
The coldest relationship show in the world. See, this is how you know when women love a song. They dance with their hands. They like that.
Hey, I
Stop
like it. I like it.
Oh, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. My playlist is my co-host, but not tonight. I brought in a heavy hitter, man, and she is no joke. McKinley. You know, I'm just going to start calling her McKinley. Mayumi McKinley, LCSW, in the house right now. She is dropping bombs. I love every minute of it. Phone lines are cracking. And there's a sister on the line that wants to talk to you right now. Juliet from Watts, California. What's up?
What's up? To God be the glory, and in honors of our ancestors and our righteous elders. I am loving you guys. You know, I finally feel some joy again.
Okay.
And it's the difference between happy and joy. Sister, look, you know what? You guys are my angels. I would say a DJ saved my life with that song. Music and feeling joy in spite of the trauma and the tragedy we're going through. People be hurting, and we need laughter, and we need joy. honest and with sincerity. My mother used to tell us, bless her heart, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh because sometimes you laugh to keep from crying, and sometimes you have to cry to keep from committing 187. Yeah, I'm serious as sickle cell. You guys don't know. You save, you know, you guys. My spirit has been dead. We've had, well, it's been in a coma because you know death is sleep's twin. Our people are hurting. They're dying. A friend of mine lost their mom. My pastor, first lady, lost their grandson. It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Wow.
And my thing is, Stevie Wonder came out in 1966. I was born in 1961. My mother played the piano. You know, we had music, and it was with a child's heart. And our children. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm gonna do like Donny Hathaway, to be young, gifted, and black. We ain't trying to put down nobody else. You know, but to be young, gifted, and black. That's a fact. You know, we are who we are, and we have to honor our family, but our children. You know, we have to look at things with a child's heart. And I'm saying that because you guys have given me. I'm like the Rita Baker. I can't sing a song, but I know the words. You bring me joy. I ain't trying to be happy. I want to be joyous. And see, joy comes without any intentions. Oh, we're going to go to Disneyland and be happy. Oh, we're going to go to the mall to be happy. I ain't trying to hear all that. Because when we come from a child's heart, nothing can get you down, but it shouldn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be that way. I was so messed up, baby. Let me tell y'all this. I used to stutter, and I'm in the middle child. 4 over me, 4 under me. Y'all know I was messed up. And back in the 60s when it was, you know, we thought we was good. We didn't even know we was kind of doing bad because we was all right. But we had a sense of community. We couldn't cut. If we cut and we saw an older person, we would do like this, you know, to get them respect because you know how kids are. You know, and give them that look. And we try our best not to look at it. They just had to look at us. Nowadays, it's kind of difficult. What I'm saying is, I feel you guys, since you have a platform and you have those LSC, I love the licensed clinical social workers. I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. I was just a case manager, and we worked with people on parole that had mental health issues back. And to make a long story short, there's a song, and there's some words in that song, and it says, with a child's heart, you know, so gay and so carefree. And it's not, you know, gay. I don't know what, you know, the others, but to be gay and happy and carefree. And when Michael Jackson sang, they you know, you was able to hear it better. And like Donny Hathaway said, there's the whole world waiting for you. You know, to be young, gifted, and black. You know, we got to talk to our children. We have to talk to our children, and that's the relationship that I'm building with the youth and Zoe and Dr. McKee. I talked to some sisters, Penny Wilson and Jamil Hill. They used to be on Tuesday nights, KPFK. Beautiful struggle. And we were talking about what did you want to do in 2022. And see, I've been lagging because I'm trying to get the ability and the capital to start a school for the black youth and the original descendants of Watts area because it's different. We are being overran, overcrowded, and I have nieces and nephews and grandchildren and great-grand, and I want them to hold their head up high. So when I get a medical retirement, I start walking them back and forth to school, and I see that it's a lot. But our children need guidance. They need music like we had, and it's hard. You know, my thing is that we start with our family, and all politics is local. Well, you know, we can reach out to our children. You guys, I love y'all. Y'all have given me a reason.
Thank you.
If you understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that what we're doing is bringing joy and just you being aware, and you know, all of your saying in terms of we got to watch out, you know, help the children and acknowledge them and build a relationship. So, you know, you're part of that as well. So make sure you pass down and what you're saying to your kids and people in your neighborhood. But thank you so much for listening.
We love you,
supporting
Juliet.
us. Yes, thank you so much.
My mother was, but I can't power to the people. But my black fist that I have on my stuff that I wear means all of us are none. Because we all doing life without parole. All of us are free.
We
Until
doing
all
life
of us are
without
free, none of us are
parole.
free.
Yes, Juliet. We all doing life without parole.
Look, I'm on the furlough with y'all every time I eat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
Juliet.
much.
We love you. Thank you for bringing Watts in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. And she mentioned a great record. Hit that record for me, Andy. This is a great record. Come on. Y'all not ready for this.
With a child's heart, go face the worries of the day. With a child's heart.
Shout out to Juliet. This song is for you.
Problem into play.
Come on, Michael. Don't do it to him like that.
No need to worry.
86th greatest singer.
No need to fear.
The voice of reason is on fire tonight.
Just
if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to talk to one of my good friends, Ronan from Indianapolis. Let this ride for a second.
Nothing can ever get you down. With a child's heart, you've got no reason to frown. Love is as welcome as a sunny day. No grown-up thoughts to lead our hearts astray.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
New music for the culture. Maisha Kyra here with your K-Black Minute News. De La Soul. Yeah, you heard it right. De La Soul's music is finally coming to streaming services on March 3rd, following a battle with their former record label. Reservoir Media announces that they've acquired De La Soul's catalog from Tommy Boy Records. This means the first 6 albums, including their platinum-selling 1989 debut, 3 Feet High and Rising, will be available for streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other platforms. Other news of that new, rapper J. Cole is in the rumor mill. Fans recently noticed he cleared his entire Instagram page, and although it's unclear why he did so, artists often use this tactic to suggest new music is on the way. What do you think? It's been about 2 years since Cole's last album, The Off Season, which topped the US Billboard 200 and sold 282,000 album equivalent units in its first week. Let us know what new music you're looking forward to this year on our socials at KBLA 1580.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Hello, Los Angeles. I'm Sheila Baker.
And I'm Dr. Adrian Duff, chairman of the 38th Annual Kingdom Day Parade. Please join us and bring the whole family on Monday, January 16th, as we celebrate Dr. King's legacy, and our parade theme this year is Making America the Last Best Hope of the World.
Come see the floats, bands, horses, all of your favorite radio stations, drum lines, drill teams, sororities, fraternities, and more.
Our presenting sponsor again this year is Blue Shield of California, and our media partner this year is, again as usual, is ABC7, and the parade will be broadcast live from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring the whole family. Don't miss the 38th Annual Kingdom Day Parade, which launches from the starting gate at Martin Luther King Boulevard and Western Avenue. See you there.
For more info, visit our website, kingdomdayparade.org. Join the 38th Annual Kingdom Day Parade, Monday, January 16, 2023. See you there.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes.
I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text I Can Quit to 66819 today.
More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
So violent, I wish I wasn't so silent. Maybe I can get something done. Maybe I can make a run from all my pride and all my ego. Oh, I'ma do this no more, no more, no more. I need to be more secure. They had me thinking less, one more. We're sleeping now, waking to the core. Never buying tickets to the show. I need to be more secure. Not hating on myself no more. I heard all of this before. Never buying tickets to the show. Tough love is the therapy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
wake up, I ain't scared.
my playlist is my co-host. That's Mary J. Blige, featuring Moneybag. It's called Tough Love. Okay, Mary J, Tough Love. I love it, man. But I got a real co-host tonight, and she's on fire. I know you guys want to talk to her. People been calling in, sharing their thoughts. And we've been talking about struggle love. And struggle is a part of every relationship. You know, challenges, disappointment, frustration, dissatisfaction, all of that comes with it. But would you say it's how you deal with that that determines the success or failure of the relationship?
Yeah, determines the success or failure in the narrative of it.
Go deeper in the narrative.
Because I think, I can't remember if you mentioned this before, but is it, in mentioning the guy, is it healthy or do you continue? I think whether or not it's healthy or you continue is based upon your perception of it and how you handle it. Because it can be a lesson, it can be a stepping stone to growth, it could be the ending of a pattern. To the next relationship. It is all how, or you can leave walking and say I'm the victim and everybody's the same.
It's all how you define it.
Yes.
That left brain, you better deal with it. Ronan from Indianapolis. Naptown is about to, oh Lord. Ronan and Mayumi together? Oh Lord. Oh, Jesus. Somebody call Jesus. Okay, man, here we go. Let me get out the way. What you got to say, Ronan?
Hey Zoe, hey Dewey, how you doing?
Hi,
how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna be transparent, at least for a little bit. But okay, so I had to be single for a while because I needed to understand the struggle relationship I had within myself. Mm-hmm. So now, taking that time to heal up. Understand what I was doing, a lot of the lessons I had to learn myself. I have a little bit of apprehension of the dating scene because I think there's a lot of relationship cosplay going on. And I was wondering, how do I address that?
Hold tight. When we come forward, we're going to deal with your question with you involved in it, because I know there's some chicanery on your end. We've got a lot to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Dr. Erica Pond with the California Department of Public Health, reminding you of ways to help stop the spread of COVID and other viruses this winter. Boost your immunity by staying up to date with COVID boosters and flu shots. Wash your hands often with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And protect others by staying home and testing for COVID when sick. More tips at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by CDPH.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Turn that off. Ain't nobody tired of arguing. Everybody like to argue.
No.
People argue all day in America in a relationship. They love it. Some people feel like they loved when they get argued with.
That is true.
I ain't lying. Oh, you love me. You arguing?
Some people are addicted to chaos. This is true.
They are. They come on. We listen, if you happy, you better fall on your knees right now. Pull your car over, hop out, and just bust a quick prayer. I'm telling you right now, it's rare. Ronan, get in here, man. We gonna rap with you. You got 2 minutes to explain this to us, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my main question. How do I properly deal with my apprehension with the dating scene when it's loaded with relationship cosplayers?
When you say relationship cosplayers, what do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of people who like to love with masks and costumes on. Mm-hmm. And then when they take all that off, it's a whole different character. They either treat you like a supervillain, or they're still married to their negative narratives to where you almost don't recognize yourself for the situation you're in.
Okay.
Boy, that's me question. Go ahead.
What?
For the men. That's me question for the men, though. It's from a male perspective. I get it.
Well, you know what? I mean, we've had a lot of people, even in the chat and calling in, talk about the relationship, how to go out, because other people, and you don't know what they're doing, and we're not psychics. We don't know. We don't know how people are going to react. I think the focus has to be more on self. So, because if you're clear on who you are spiritually, emotionally, mentally, then you're looking through a different lens. So you'll see through some of the quote unquote cosplayers. You'll be able to see through certain things. So it really goes back to people trusting themselves and focusing on self. Because then naturally you won't be, those people won't be attracted to you in a certain way. It's like a different type of energy that comes in. So you can't control the world. We talk about, well, how do we get other people and how do we make sure that they don't, and we can't control them. All I have control is of myself, and if I'm in the healthiest place, my picker is different because it's healed. Right? Yes. I have to be mature enough to say no and walk away from situations that I know are red flags. Because we fool ourselves. Oh, people will, well, let me just see. Well, maybe it's not quite. Let me just see. I'm bored anyway. I'm not going to like them, so I'm just going to go on a couple of dates. And that's just playing with fire. So it really goes back to us being able to say no and walking in our healthy, knowing that's going to be some people that you got to pass by no matter the situation. And then you leave room to meet the right person. Other than that, if you operating and you're in old patterns and you're operating, you're not saying no, the person that is not the cosplayer could be right in front of you and you're going to miss it.
Ronan, we appreciate the call, man. We
not saying you, Ronan. I just mean you and people.
Hey, Ronan, we love you, man. Listen, my job is to start the conversation. Your job is to finish it. It's Friday. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. We'll see you on Monday. You know you got to tune in.
And it's contagious. What's the latest? Speak your heart. Don't bite your tongue. Don't get it twisted. Don't misuse it. What's your problem?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The CDC and the FDA are looking into concerns that the